Boris, just 20 hours to the start of the Route du Rhum, the first race with your new boat. How do you feel?
It's only 20 hours now to the start of the first race with our new boat, and I'm quite excited, but I'm feeling good, well supported by an excellent team. I think we have done everything we could to make the boat as reliable as possible and as fast as possible.
So the next 20 hours are a time of relaxation, or are still any aspects to be prepared by you?
Well, the next few hours to the start, it's less than 24 hours. That will be a mixture of some short relaxation exercises, because there's quite a bit of tension also, huge responsibility. And then weather preparation and analyzing the weather. So tonight at 8:30 local time here, we have new weather models, and tomorrow morning at 8:30. Then I'm already in the car to the RIB, and that brings me on board because the boat is going to be on a mooring tonight, and then we're already at the start.
What is the relevance of the Route du Rhum in your race calendar until the Vendée Globe 2024?
The Route du Rhum is really the first race in a long succession of races. The big goal for me personally is the Vendée Globe, for us as a team as well. And the second biggest is the ocean race. So the Route du Rhum is really the first test and the first one at the beginning of the learning curve. I think we have already done some training, but we are nowhere near fully competitive yet. But the Route du Rhum is a great test. We can learn a lot from it. It pushes us as a team forward to progress. And for me, for the Vendée Globe goal, it's also going to qualify me for the Vendée Globe. So yes, there are many great reasons to be doing this famous race.
Regarding the start tomorrow, what are the biggest challenges for you?
Yeah, regarding the start tomorrow, I'm really excited. And if anything steals me the sleep tonight, this is going to be the start, because we are 138 boats on a 3.5 mile long start line. For our 38 IMOCAs, we only have 1 mile portion of this, and then to our left we have the 50 or so class 40s. This is all very tight, plus we have constraints from the land. We have like spectator boats and a wind farm, and yeah, this doesn't feel right. So I really try to be to get out of it somehow, and really I hope there will be no collisions tomorrow between any boats, and everyone makes it to Cap Fréhel, which is the first waypoint. This should take roughly 2 hours probably, beating upwind there, 2-3 hours, and then we have a little bit the free ocean ahead of us. Not quite yet, because first we have the exit of the English Channel, and then Monday morning we really go in the free ocean.
The start has been postponed because of a very strong storm. So how is the situation now? What are you expecting?
Yeah, they delayed the start because of a very strong storm. Not only one, there were 3 low pressures, and we have a similar situation now with 3 low pressures potentially affecting our route. Most likely the last one, the third one, we are already further south. We don't even get so much influence by that. And the first and second one, they leave us like an escape to the south. And that was not the case. It has not been the case last Sunday. Last Sunday, the storm was everywhere in the Bay of Biscay, in the Irish Sea. Everything was blocked by by really strong storms with gusts 55, 60 knots, or potentially even more in some areas. So very good decision of the race organizer to postpone the start to Wednesday tomorrow, and the conditions look much better tomorrow.
Regarding the difficult meteorological and geographical situation, is it possible to say that the first days of the race are the most difficult ones, the decisive one?
Yeah, these races are interesting. It's a similar thing, the Transat Vabre, the Route du Rhum. We have like a coastal race going out of the English Channel with the influence of coastal effects, tides, local tactics, the risk, of course, of coastal navigation. Little fish pots could be wrapped around the keel, and then you stop and need to dive. That happened to other competitors in previous races. So there's a lot of like this stress of the start, but it's quite fundamental. The timing in the beginning will then determine how the timing is going to be through these 2 big low pressures and cold fronts that we deal with going into the Atlantic. And that timing then will determine how we get around the Azores High, or if we get stuck to it, or if we are late, then we need to get around the west of it because it's moving east. So once we are south of the Azores Highs, then it's what we really are here for, the trade winds, the fast sailing, the fast foiling in beautiful warm water conditions. And that will be the second half of the race. So we go through hell first a little bit and then make our way towards paradise, and we'll end on the beach in Guadeloupe.
What are your personal expectations for the race?
My personal expectations are quite high. I want to finish, and this is a big challenge with a brand new boat, which has never sailed more than like a few days in a row. It's never been taken through a strong storm or anything like what we will experience out there now. Like, these cold fronts are much stronger than any wind we had before. So there's a big portion of curiosity, excitement, and suspense. And then, of course, I don't only want to arrive, but do it as well as possible. And being quite realistic, we have no high chances of winning. They are very slim, and that's not at all the goal. The target competition is then more the ocean race, which is coming up in January. Now the essence is to be reliable and to make it safely to the other side.
Since the launch of the boat, you have always trained with your crew. Now you're sailing alone for the first time. How is it? How does it feel?
Yeah, I have no idea how this is going to feel. I will be actually the first time entirely alone on the boat. I've never been completely alone. I have always had a media man on board during my qualification trip. Antoine Auriol, our onboard reporter, was on board then. So this will be the first time, and this is something I'm looking forward to. Also, quite honestly, it's quite amazing to sail such a machine alone, and I think it will feel good, but I don't know yet.